Hey there friends, it's Rahul here. Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, welcome to the FilterCoffeeFinance family. The following video is a step-by-step guide on how I think is the best way to study for the CFA Level 1 exams. In the next few minutes, I'll tell you what order I use to study for the Level 1 exams and why I think you guys should do the same. If you're new to the channel, please like this video for more CFA and business related content. For those of you who might not know, the CFA program is a 3-part exam for people who work or aspire to work in the investment management industry. It is designed to equip you with the right real-world skills in investment analysis that will help you advance your career. Being a CFA charter holder is an amazing accomplishment. It comes with a lot of hard work, and CFA charter holders are the gold standard in the field of investment management. Each of the CFA exams requires students to learn 10 topics, namely quantitative analysis, economics, financial statement analysis, equities, fixed income and derivatives, alternative investments, ethics and professionalism, corporate issuers, and lastly, portfolio management. Each of these topics are designed in such a way that candidates learn how various concepts are implemented in the industry. In exception for learning a few hundred formulas, all of which are easy to understand, there is not a lot of mugging up that needs to be done when preparing for the CFA exams. So, let's get started. What order do I think you should follow when you're studying for the CFA exams? Time value of money is the backbone of all calculations in finance, and completing an introduction to it in quant will give you a really firm base. This topic also has a few chapters on the basics of statistics, which you should be able to complete relatively easily. So, why do I think you should do quant first? Completing quant first will give you a foundation that will help you solve problems in a lot of other topics in the CFA curriculum. The weightage of quant in the syllabus currently varies anywhere between 6 to 9%. Once you're done with quant, the next subject that I suggest you do is financial statement analysis. Whether you come from a finance background or you don't come from a finance background, FSA is definitely the next section to prioritize. Even though it does look like it has a lot of chapters, do not be too startled. They're all small or medium sized. Why do I think you should do FSA second? It is because this chapter will act like a backbone for a lot of other topics that we'll be covering later on in the CFA program. And in terms of weightage, this subject is huge. Expect anywhere between 10 to 14% of your questions to be just from FSA. After completing a heavy lifting chapter like FSA, I suggest that you move on to easier topics such as equity. Why is equity easy? Most of us already have an idea of how equity markets work, but reading the equities chapter will cement that basic understanding of market concepts. The first few chapters are completely theory based with very light calculations. Another thing is that equities has a high weightage, anywhere between 11 to 14%, but it is a relatively straightforward chapter. After you are done with equities, move on to portfolio management. The thing about portfolio management when I did my CFA Level 1 exams was that it used to have a relatively small weightage, but now the weightage of this chapter varies anywhere between 8 to 12%. Even though PM has quite a few chapters or learning modules as the CFA Institute now calls them, I still think that it's quite an interesting topic to learn. There used to be a portion on fintech and technical analysis when I wrote the CFA exam in 2022, but now fintech has moved to the quant section and the technical analysis chapter has been removed. When you're preparing for the Level 1 exam, do not neglect portfolio management. In fact, portfolio management accounts for nearly 20% of your L2 syllabus and nearly 35% of your Level 3 syllabus. Do it once and do it well the first time. Once you complete portfolio management, you can then move on to corporate finance. Corporate finance or corporate issuers is another relatively small and easy chapter with an exam weightage of 6 to 9%. Since the first few chapters are all theory based, you should find the beginning portion very easy to cover. Towards the end of corporate issuers, we have a few computational readings. Candidates are expected to be able to solve numericals on NPV, IRR, and ROIC, as well as understand concepts such as the weighted average cost of capital and how to calculate the WACC for a business. Keep in mind that corporate issuers is an easy chapter, but the numericals do require a certain amount of practice. Once you complete working on CI, you can then move on to fixed income. Alongside FSA, fixed income is another topic that candidates tend to spend a lot of their time studying, mostly due to its high weightage, anywhere between 11 to 14%. The topics covered in fixed income are generally not studied in undergrad courses, but are extensively covered in MSc Finance courses. Fixed income is just one of those topics that grows in importance as you pass through the CFA program, which is why you should give it the respect that it deserves and master the numericals that will be asked. Once you're done with FI, derivatives, your next topic should be a piece of cake. Derivatives is a relatively small chapter with a weightage of 5 to 8%, and you should be able to complete it easily. Now, just because I said you can finish derivatives quickly, doesn't mean that you should take it lightly. This topic is one that a lot of people skip through and then find that it's not easy to complete right before the exam. Pick up derivatives like how you'd pick up low-hanging fruit. You just don't miss out on it. And once you're done, you can then move on to alternative investments. Alternative investments, or AI, is another chapter with pretty straightforward concepts. Even if you don't know anything about AI, you should be able to grasp these concepts pretty easily. The weightage for this topic varies anywhere between 7 to 10%, plus there are only a few chapters where you can be tested numerically. One question that has a high probability of showing up in the exams is to ask you to calculate the performance of alternative investments before and after fees. After you're done with AI, move on to economics. As a topic, I really like economics. However, for my level 1 exams, I never felt like I had a good grasp of it at all. When I prepared economics, I did it right after completing quant. But by the time I got back to the topic, almost 3 months later, I could barely remember anything. The best part of it was, economics had a weightage of 8 to 12% during the 2022 level 1 exams. By the way, it right now has a weightage of just 6 to 9%. So speaking from personal experience, do the heavily theoretical chapters towards the end of your preparation. Once you're done with economics, we can move on to the final chapter, which is ethics and professionalism. Ethics is the one topic that makes CFA charter holders stand out from all other types of investment advisors. When you work with a CFA charter holder, there is an implicit guarantee that they know the law and will conduct themselves ethically. Just to highlight how seriously the CFAI takes its members' ethics and professionalism, in the level 1 exam, ethics holds anywhere between 15 to 20% weightage. Even though this topic does carry a huge weightage, in the exam, ethics is not a difficult chapter to score well in. You can do well if you spend time practicing all of the CFA Institute end of chapter questions, as well as going through the case studies in the CFA curriculum. I suggest doing this topic towards the end because doing it last will leave it fresh in your short to medium term memory. Guys, studying topics in the right order is great and all, but you want to know what is a really foolproof way to ace the CFA exams? A few months ago at FilterCoffeeFinance, we conducted an independent poll sampling candidates and how they prepared for their level 1 exams. There was a high correlation between subscribing to FilterCoffeeFinance and passing the level 1 exams. In fact, candidates who liked our videos and shared it with their friends were even more likely to pass. And candidates who did all of the 3 above steps and even left a comment in the comment section were almost guaranteed to pass their exams. If you really want to pass the CFA exams, then I suggest you do each of the above. Thank you for watching, guys. Let me know if there's any other topic that you'd like to see me cover in the future. And until we meet again, this is FilterCoffeeFinance signing off.